Top of the morning, good afternoon, and hello to planet Earth. A hearty and healthy Irish hello. Dermot here with your Friday inspirational rant. All righty. Now, I'm going to be talking about something that I think is really, really important, and yet at the same time not. It's kind of like a porta potty. It's important, but only when you need it. So we're going to talk about today how to be prosperous and clueless, or if you like, clueless and prosperous. Now, what does clueless mean? Clueless means not having a clue, don't know what to do next. Now, growing up in the wee Irish shores of Ireland, County Meath, 29 St. Benensvillis, I hope nobody goes there because we don't live there anymore, but you get the idea. And one of the things that I grew up and had a real challenge with was feeling stupid. You know, my old man used to say, "Oh, you're kind of stupid," you know, and didn't feel good, wasn't nice. And I kind of grew up with that. And when I became, when I got to the age of 30 or so, I decided, okay, I'm going to show him, I'm going to become intelligent. And so I started reading books and I started studying and I started going crazy with reviewing stuff and learning stuff at a very deep level. And some might say I grew in intelligence. Others might say I just sounded that way. Depends on who you talk to. And so my whole thing for many years was intelligence, knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why I was doing it, and so on and so on. And then being able to communicate that to people, in various ways. And when I did my radio shows, I started my radio show about 12 years ago. Been on the radio now for 12 years and created 2 business building schools for coaches, and I do life coaching for companies and individuals. And I prized myself on knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what to do, how to tell other people what to do. And I tell you something, there's nothing wrong with that, but it can be limiting. Because what I'm starting to notice in my own life is that I don't need to have all the answers. I had a client come to me and he said, I got this problem and I can't fix it. I've tried. I said, what have you tried? I've tried this. I've tried that. I've tried this. I tried that. I said to him, have you tried giving up? And it was like I had said to him, hey, did you ever wrestle an alligator in a tutu while trying to drink a beer? And I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there has done it. If you have, please email me and tell me how it went. And it had never occurred to him to give up. And that question had never occurred to me to give up, because I'm a person that I need to know the answer. I need to know, how do I do this? How, what's involved here? What's the answer? What's the solution to this problem? Right? In case you're listening, I'm doing a pause because I'm drinking my tea. If you're listening in the audio. I said, have you tried giving up? And he was dumbfounded by that. And then I said, well, have you tried for a week not giving a crap? And he said, no, I haven't tried that, Dermot. So why don't you try that and come back to me? Came back a week later and he said, look, Dermot, he says, I was out with the kids and we were just walking on the beach and the answer came to me. Clear as day. I wasn't even thinking about it. The answer just popped in my brain like whack-a-mole, like when you pop your head up, that goes whack. Well, somebody popped in, gave me the answer, and whack, it was done. Now, there's something really profound in that. One of the practices, and I'm going to talk about at the end of our little talk here today, one of the practices that I do now on a regular basis, I have a whiteboard. You don't need a whiteboard. You can, piece of paper, put a circle around it, And whatever project you're working on, whatever problem you have, put it inside the circle. And then draw lines. I'll show it to you now. That's what it looks like. You can see that. Let's see if we can. So see that there? And in the middle, you just put the name of the project, and then you put tentacles coming out from it. And circle to the brain means completion. It also means infinity. No start, no middle, no end. And so your ideas, or your creative ideas on what you can create in the world are infinite. I was going to say infinitude, but I don't think that's a word. They're infinite. But the problem that most people come to, and myself included, I'm not alone in this one. I often think if I had $1 for every time I was clueless, I'd ask, where's all this money coming from? But now I'm clueless and I'm happy. Maybe we'll call this talk Clueless and Happy, and abundant and prosperous. So I have a whiteboard. I put the name of whatever it is, the topic or the problem, or usually it's a workshop that I'm working on. I love to do creative workshops. And I put the tentacles out from it. And I look at it for a moment or two, and I ask myself, what's one idea I have for this? What would be a fun idea for I have for this? And maybe I'll get something, I'll write it at the end of one of the tentacles, and then I'll walk away. And I leave that whiteboard in my office. You can leave it wherever you want, but somewhere where you're going to see it every day. And just pass by it, look at it. Oh, okay. And what that does is it starts to train your mind to create openings for you where you can get an idea. Now, if you think about it, pun intended, the more you think about something, the less ideas you have about it. The more you push against something, the more it pushes back. If you're pushing against the problem, problems are going to push back. Well, Dermot, what's the solution? Well, it's really simple. Stop pushing. That's good for anyone that has constipation. Stop pushing, or anyone that's trying to solve a problem, or anyone who's trying to push a noodle up a hill. Stop pushing against that which you want, because when you push against something, it pushes back. It's why Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa said they would never go to a war rally. Go to a peace rally, never a war, because when you push against something, you bring it closer to you. The law of attraction says that which is likened attracts. So if you're pushing against something, you're saying, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't want that, you're actually bringing more of it to you. Now that's powerful, coaches. That is very, very powerful. And ladies and gentlemen listening, I have to remember I'm not in school right now for coaches. That's really powerful. And every day I walk past that whiteboard and an idea may come to, I'll stop and look at it for a moment, just smile, look at it. No, nothing. Okay. I take the path of least resistance. And I can tell you now, from being a coach for many years and having coached a lot of people, more times as I've had breakfast, and I like breakfast. I can tell you that the path of least resistance, the path of cluelessness, is a pretty good path to go. Give you another example. I did a walk from LA to Washington, D.C. in 2009. It was to raise money for an orphanage school in India. And I walked from LA to Washington, D.C. It took me 17 months to complete. I thought I was going to do it in 6. It took me 17 months, 5 pairs of sneakers, and 1 pair of underwear, 1 pair of socks. Actually, 2 pairs of socks, being honest. And the whole thing fell apart in Texas. And I do not blame the Texans for this, flat as it was. But I was walking through Texas, and it was a hot, hot day. And I completely fell apart. I got just completely depressed. I said, I'm going home. Screw this. I'm done with this walk. It ain't happening. Nothing's working. Nothing was working in the walk. Why? Because I was pushing. That which you push against pushes back. Just ask Mike Tyson. And I sat down beside this little church door and I fell asleep. I cried myself to sleep, actually. It was pretty sad. And glad nobody was taping it for YouTube. And I woke up. When I woke up, first of all, I was still alive, so that was good. And nobody had seen me cry, so that was good. And God forbid anyone sees me cry. And I stood up and I turned around just to look at the door of the church. And on the church, it said, "When nothing is sure, everything is possible." Now, that struck me like an electric bill. It struck me like a bad check. It struck me like a case of you know what, and you have to run to the you know where. And when nothing is sure, everything is possible. Now, that's pretty amazing, because in our society, we're told we have to have answers. We have to have to-do lists. We have to have goals. Nothing wrong with any of that stuff. I coach people on that stuff. But when you're so invested in a certain result, and you wake up every day and you say, why isn't it here? Why isn't it here? Why isn't it here? That's like going out to the garden, plant a seed, and then every day you go back to the garden, you dig up the seed, you look at it. Why aren't you growing? Why aren't you growing? You wouldn't do that, would you? You wouldn't scream at a toddler because they didn't get the spoon in the mouth thing right away, like in the eye. You wouldn't scream at them and say, hey, you should get that on the first go. Because you know there's a process to everything. And there's a process to being clueless. And I like to call it relaxing. Okay, I don't know why my screen is kind of, let's pause it here, but I'll be right back. Hang on to your nose. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had some mechanical issues. Technology. So there's a process. And what I found is the process is one of letting go. It's the path of least resistance. It's okay with being clueless. Try this experiment. For the next week, let's say you're banging your head against something. Not the wall, but a problem. You know, you're looking for a solution. Hey, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do about that. God, I really don't know what to do about this. That locks it in place. That keeps it in place. When you push against something, it pushes back. I'm going to invite you to give yourself permission to say, I'm going to take a break from this. Or I'm going to give myself permission to be clueless about this. I'm going to give myself permission to not know. I'm going to give myself permission to be not sure about anything so that everything is possible. I'm going to give myself permission this week not to give a crap about it. Or maybe you give yourself a day where you say, you know what, today I'm just not going to give a flying cabbage about trying to solve this. Whatever it is, money, relationships, you know, whatever it might be. When nothing is sure, everything is possible. Isn't it nice to know that if you let it go of something, it'll come back to you? Isn't it nice to know that if you let go of the problem, the solution is sure to follow? Isn't it nice to know that when you let go of something like a boomerang, it will come back to you eventually? Isn't it nice to know that we have the infinite potential of the universe inside of us? But we have so much thinking about things. We have so much up in our heads. We have like a building that's sitting on the back of our shoulders, and it's full of thinking. It's full of thoughts. And the way to start to create more solutions in our world, the way to start to receive more great ideas is by being a little okay with being a little less, you know, controlling and got to have all the answers. And just allow yourself to be clueless for a day. Try that experiment. Circle, put the name of the problem or the project you're working on, put some lines out from the center, and just leave it. I get some of my best ideas when I'm in the shower or when I'm just out walking doing nothing. or when I'm turning over the compost in the garden. I'm like, oh my God. And I run upstairs and I write the idea down. So for a day or maybe 2 days or a week, forget about your to-do list and just play with the idea of, let me see what ideas come to me this week. Let me see what comes to me about my life. How can I make my life better? I'm going to put that on the table and I'm going to see what happens. Very, very powerful. Wouldn't it be nice if we could let go of all this control for a day? Wouldn't it be nice if we could relax for a day? What I found is that the more I'm relaxed, it's Butterley's Law. I just made it up. Well, I made it up about a year ago. But Butterley's Law says that the more relaxed I am, the easier my life becomes. And I have gotten more great ideas from just being relaxed, being easy, making, just for today, I'm going to be happy. I don't give a cod's wallop what's going to happen. Today, I'm going to be happy. If that person says something to me, I don't care. I'm going to choose to be happy just for today. And the more we can follow that path of least resistance, just for a day, better off we'll be. And the more ideas you will get to create more money, the more ideas you will get to create better relationships, the more ideas you'll get to create a new project or a workshop or a job or a career or a lifestyle. But we got to be willing to just let go of the result for a day. The universe understands that we're infinite beings and it's in no rush. You never see a rabbit in a rush. You never see vegetables in a rush to grow. You never see the forest running around going, Jesus, I really got to grow and expand and save the planet. Everything in nature takes its time because it trusts. This is a universe of trust. This is a universe of abundance. This is a universe of infinite potential. But we've got to be willing to relax. We've got to be willing to be at ease. We've got to be willing to be a little bit softer about our life and about the day and about the things that we need to get done. We need to let go of our agenda for a day and see what shows up. Try showing up clueless for a day. Somebody says to you, what do you think we should do? I don't know. And what's more, I'm okay with not knowing. Most of us are not okay with not knowing. We have to know. I have to know. I have to know. I have to know. What if we didn't have to know? What if we could let go of the knowing for today? What if we could decide, you know what, I'm going to be stupid, clueless, and not give a crap for a day? Now, that doesn't mean that you go around and you be an ass to everyone. It just means that within yourself, you're giving yourself a break. You're hitting the pause button on your life for a day and saying, you know what, today is my I don't know day. Hey, you know what time it is? No, I don't. Hey, you know what's on TV? No, I don't know that. No. Hey, do you know the way to get to that? No, I don't. Sorry. Hey, do you think you could help me solve this problem? No, I'm sorry. Okay, could you give me some advice? No, I'm sorry. Today is my I don't know day. No, wait a minute, Dermot. You don't know anything? No, I don't know anything. Nothing. What time is it? I don't know. What's your name? I don't know. Where do you live? I don't know. It's my I don't know day. Have an I don't know day, listeners, and see what that does for your life. All right, I'm going to leave you with some questions. What if I didn't know? That's a good one to ask. What if I didn't have the answer? What then? What if it's possible that just for today I let go? What if just for today I decide to be ordinary? It's okay to have an ordinary day, be an ordinary person, nothing wrong with that. What if today I decide that, hey, nothing is sure, and I'm good with that? What if you decide that, today I'm just going to give up controlling the universe? because, you know, it's not an easy job. Just for today, I'm going to relax. Just for today, I'm going to make the most important thing feeling good. Just for today. That's the most important thing for me. Just for today, I'm going to decide I don't know. What if just for today you decided, you gave yourself full permission to not know a feckin' thing? How would that be? All right, coaches, we're going to leave it there today. Now, I'm saying coaches, but I mean listeners. But for the coaches that are out there, first Tuesday of every month, we have Experience Club Fearless. Come, bring all your business building questions, whatever you want to know. And we'll do some coaching with you. There's a link down below. Sign up. It's a complimentary class. Come meet me. Come get some coaching on whatever it is you need help with building your coaching practice. And for all you other listeners out there, sincerely appreciate your time. Thanks for listening to the Friday Inspirational Rant. And we shall see you all next week. Until then, think big, have fun, and stay curious. Cheers.